Hi everyone, this is Neronium. Welcome back to Skies of Arcadia Legends. Last time we ended up getting through the land of ice, getting the rest of our crew together. And in this part, it's time we get some discoveries. Now that we have the ability to travel high above the clouds and low below the clouds. So there are a lot of discoveries we have to get, which is why this is post-commentary, and some of these discoveries are actually traveling actively throughout the world. There are a few that are a pain, but one of them that's not is this one right here on the Valua Mountain. We have found the Sky Ladder. A Valuan legend states that before the age of battle airships and air balloons, people of the ancient world over many years built a ladder from which they could see the entire world. What would the people of the era think? So, that's one of them. There are a lot of discoveries that we are going to be getting. We're also going to be going back to the land of ice because there is a chest for us to get. I have a guide open to get these discoveries. Some of them were kind of a pain to get, and some of them are below the clouds. One thing to keep in mind, if you are above or below the cloud line, you will never hit any enemy encounters, which is something that is very good for when you are looking for discoveries, but is a pain in the butt when you are not. Now, this is a longer episode if you could not tell, and that is because there are just so many discoveries I ended up ignoring after a while because the grid map system on guides is not that good. But here we have the Stone City on the side continent of Valua. The ruins of a settlement built into a rock-solid wall with countless passageways connecting the dwellings. The homes appear to have been abandoned hastily, but no evidence is found exactly what explains what happened. Probably the rains of destruction that destroyed everything. That's why they kind of fled. Now, from Ichmaeus' island, if we go down below the cloud line, you can see there's a tiny little rock right here. So, get this to get the Philosophy Stone. Not a Philosopher's Stone, a Philosophy Stone. Though my body may age and the sun may set, the soul of a sailor still burns inside me. As long as I can dream, I shall travel the skies. As long as there are skies, blah, 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 blah. You can read it yourself. Alright, so next up, we are going to be heading back to the land of ice. And inside the land of ice, if you go below the cloud line, you could actually find this ice ruins below and an entrance to them with a way to get to two important things that we are going to need. So, go to the ruins of ice right here. You can see there is a hole on the bottom. So, go on inside. We end up in a new part of the ruins of ice that has a chest at the very end, which contains a moonberry. And one of the last moonfish of the entire game. So you're gonna want to come and get this moonfish, because it is one of the last ones, and it's the second one of this ruin. There are 24 moonfish total in the game. That is moonfish, I believe, number 22. In fact, yeah, that is moonfish 22. And here it connects you back to the rest of the land of ice if you miss some chests in here. Now that we can go above and below the clouds as well, we can also go back to Mount Kazai and get that moonberry box as well. Which is something we are going to be doing in this episode too, just so then we can make it easier. Because I've been getting every other chest in the game. That's fine. We're also going to get another person to rate how well our chest gathering abilities are, and after the next session, couple of episodes, we're gonna go back to him because I think there's only a few more chests in the game and we should be good. Okay, so while we are below the clouds, we can go and explore some more. Dark rifts you can't fly through above or below. You can fly above them, you can't fly below them though. Kind of stinks. So, let's climb up. And there are a few discoveries in the land of ice we still need to get. but the one that we're going after right now is some of the more elusive ones. So there's the Aurora Borealis, but we don't need that. What we need in this area right around here, as you can see, I cut ahead a bit because I had to wait for this to show up. There's the Dark Rift we were just in. I'm looking for a wandering one of the discoveries. This one is one of the last ones and is one of the more difficult ones to get and spot. But once you see it, you'll know it. And there it is. Flying above the clouds, slowly as ever, we have found the long line. It is said that the long line was developed by ancient Yafutomans as a way to effectively catch fish that don't travel in big schools. So yeah, the long line, one of the last ones. It's actually Discovery 77. Now, our next one is probably the hardest one to trigger. In this area right here, there is an eclipse point that is based off of how much the light is. This is probably the hardest one to trigger because you have to be very precise. You might notice that some things are getting darker, some things are getting lighter. That is because we are like right by the eclipse point. You have to be pretty much in the cloud line. You can notice it's starting to get darker and darker. But we're not there just yet. Which is why I go back in the map. I'm like, okay, where the heck is it? This area that we're in right now is also looper country. So all the enemies in this area of the map are nothing but loopers. Like all types of loopers. And a giant enemy looper too. But we're going to fight that in the next part. And here it is. So as you can see, we have found the eclipse point. Probably one of the hardest ones to get. The only place in the world where a lunar eclipse can be observed at predictable intervals. Eclipses where a golden ring can be seen around the moon as good omens, and completely eclipsed are said to be portent of impending disasters. So now, also in this looper area, there's a rock near the southern end. Come near that southern rock end, and you found the looper's nest. Loopers are mysterious creatures, rarely seen even by the most seasoned of sailors. They nest in stone reefs, and their young stay in nests until they mature. Loopers are born white, but turn various colors as they age, which is interesting. I think arc loopers are some of the older ones, and then the oldest happens to be one type of looper that's in the Dark Rift that we're gonna fight at a later date. So as you can see, we're by where the wandering lights are for the South Ocean. And I'm like, oh, is this a discovery? And then I realized, wait, nope. Abandon ship. Do not want to fight the spell ship. I've already fought enough of them. You only need to fight 12 non-story battles in order to get a specific one and fight 4 giant monsters, which we're actually by one of the giant monsters right now, and we'll hear its mightiness soon enough in the next part. So, here we are in the Ixatacan continent, above the clouds. There is a person up here who will actually tell you about one of the discoveries above Ixataca that is, probably the hardest one to get if you aren't doing RNG manipulation, which I do end up doing in order to get this discovery. We won't get that one until later in this episode because it's tiny, it's fast, and it's very hard to get. So if you come over here by Horteca, there's Rixus. And right here we have the observatory. A civilization once flourished in this land under the green moon. The observatory built by the Ixatacan Plateau speaks of their advanced study of astronomy. But Then the Rains of Destruction happened. So, now we need to find more. So, there's Rixus. So, I'm looking on my guide. I'm like, okay, where can I find more? And then I think we just decide to go over towards Rixus itself. So, turning around from Rixus, you might notice this little island here. And on this island, there's supposed to be a discovery. But dumb me is like, where is it? I don't see it. My compass is not spinning. Well, don't worry, because it's right here. We found the Alpus. We found monkeys. An ancient species that predate the Exotocan civilization. The Alpus live quietly in the forest. Their calm, proud demeanor has given them the name the Sages of the Forest. Yep. We found monkeys. So, now on to our next discovery, which I don't remember if we're going straight to Yafutoma next, or... Nope, we're going to Yafutoma because I decide, yeah, let's go to Mount Kazai, get the missing one. It's by where we jump in the middle, and instead of, basically right here, right after we jump down the giant chasm, you can see that there's a pathway I didn't go to. That pathway, this way, as the map expands, leads us to the Moonberry that I had missed. So don't worry, you can miss a few chests and go back to them, but there are a few areas that are one-time only areas, so keep that in mind. And now let's get the Judgment for Enrique. A super move I'm probably never going to use because the other ones are way too good. So, now that we're done with Mount Kazai, we've done all the backtracking we need for that, so let's go back to getting more discoveries. So there is actually one right below the base of Mount Kazai, but it's also another wandering one, so you gotta watch out. So I decided to come up this way instead, to this plateau by the island, and it is the Mother Tree. The tree is revered by Yafutomans. It is one in their ancient scriptures. It says that he who climbs the top of this tree will someday conquer the world. Now there's a couple of wandering, discoveries around that area too, so by Tenko Island, so keep that in mind. So we've got a lot of Yafutoman discoveries to get. I believe the next one we are going to be getting is going to be on the Great Wall that we find. No, we're going after the one that's below the base of Mount Kazai, which is these birds. We have found the Wanderbirds. These are tiny, hard to see, and wander around Yafutoma. The Wanderbirds are basically cranes. I hated grabbing these ones because I got so many battles because of it. Alright, so next up we are going to go on the Great Wall around the southeastern side of Yafutoma in order to get ourselves our next discovery, the Deers. Once upon a time, there was a gentle creature called the Deers that lived in the forest. The villagers believed that getting kicked by a deer would make them rich, and so they chased them around until he ran away. A Yafutoman fairy tale. What an odd fairy tale that is actually based on real Japanese mythology. So, our next destination, as you can see, we are a little bit south of Yafutoma, so I'm trying to find where this is. Is this the one I think it is? So there's the Stone Reef. There's also a hidden island that's related to an aberrant cham that we're going to be getting. Alright, so we're stuck here. So rise above the clouds. And we're going by... That's the giant bird I was talking about, by the way. Go on the opposite side of the Stone Reef, around everything, and if you go into the south western quadrant, you'll come across a little land that attaches Yafutoma to there. But first things first, we have a battle to do, because I figured, why not leave a battle in? The jellyfish! Fire consume my enemies. Omega Cyclone.
That was fun.
Still love my giant lollipop swirl meringue. I'm trying to get everyone to have top tier green magic, so. Alright, so come on here, onto this plateau. And if you come to the southern eastern end of it, you have found the Grieving Prince. A statue of an ancient prince who lost his wife in a sailing accident and spent his life gazing at the skies. On a full moon, it is said that a single tear falls from the prince's eye as he watches ships pass. How depressing. But now we gotta go on to our next destination, which I'm looking at guides still, so keep that in mind. Alright, so our destination has been set. Shot a course for Upper Sky. We're going back to Yafutoma, because I think we're going after the one that I hate going after, which is going to be on the eastern part where the mystery is. So yeah, we're going after, I think, the Spice Island. Because the spice must flow. So for this one, we cut ahead. So as you can see, I kind of went a little bit too far. The Spice Island is an invisible island that you will find to the east. Or was it west? You go from Yafutoma from east to west. Or from to east, and then you'll end up getting it. But more importantly, around this area is a specific island. This island is home to the Hamachu. And more importantly, there is a Cham here. Hamachu. We got one Cham. Now this Hamachu right here, he grades you. Why? Because the giant Hamachu... Be quiet, Chirp. What do you want, Chirp? Whoa, who is this old guy? I'm the Hamachu Hermit, Chirp. I am the friend of the caretaker, Chirp. This is our private paradise, Chirp. You are invading our privacy, Chirp. You're really starting to bother me, Chirp. If you don't leave soon, I'll have to spread rumors about you, Chirp. The way I fight. My treasure hunting skills. Don't ask anything. Alright, what is about the way what are my treasure hunting skills? Alright, I'll tell you how your treasure hunting skills are. First of all, your treasure chest discovery rate up until now, Chirp, would be 85%. Well, that's pretty average. We'll have to take a decent air pirate, Chirp. There are some treasure chests that can't be found once they are passed. People must know and when to give up. And you've caught quite a few fish until now, Chirp. You've got a total of 199 fish, with a total of that much gold. You're an average fisherman. Not bad, I guess, Chirp. But all I have to say about your hunting skills, okay, the way I fight. First of all, the number of times you engage in battle would be 553 times. That's average, Chirp. You'll have to hang him out there. Total enemies you defeat is 2,000. That's the number of times you've run. You've never run from a battle. You're either slow or really brave, Chirp. Lastly, the number of times you've been knocked unconscious during battle. You 8, Ika 2, Finna 11, Drachma 1, Enrique 5, Gilder 0. So this man is how you can tell who's born of a Hamachu. That's why I wear this bird outfit, Chirp. He will tell you your treasure hunting skills. If you get 100%, that means you've gotten all the treasures. If you get above 90, then you're good. It does count the treasure. He counts every treasure in the game. But in the area that's by there, by the Hamachu Island, as you can see, we have a little tiny alcove. And inside this tiny little alcove are a few discoveries. and one of the giant monsters. So I'm like, okay, who sees me? Wait, reverse, reverse! It's a squid! Yep, one of the giant flying enemies is a squid. We will be dealing with that in the next part. But there is a nest that is a discovery for the giant squid that is below the clouds. Leave me be, squid boy. Life has many daughters, squid boy. And we got fish around here, so go a little bit above. And right here, you found the giant squid nest. We thought it was just a big rock, but then when we threw anchor, this huge eyeball opened up, and now those red legs came out of nowhere. Creepy. There is a wandering legendary underneath the clouds that is very hard to get. This is the one where you go southwest, given where I am, from Yafutoma. Now this one we're going after is the Spice Island. This one is related to an Abric Cham quest that I have not done yet at this point. The spice must flow. A small remote island where pure spring nurtures a wide variety of herbs and spices. Perhaps it is the true fountain of youth. But once you discover this, wow, there's so many herbs and spices growing here. I've never seen so many in one place before. It's amazing. This place truly is a treasure island. But we really shouldn't disturb the island too much. Yeah, I suppose that if we took too many of the seeds and stuff, the trees might not be able to grow back. But I'm sure it would be okay just to take a little bit, right, Vise? I swear, Aika, you and your just a little bit. Alright, we'll take something with us. You received the spice kale. So you need the kale in order to be able to get the last Abric Cham that is in the game. Now, we are above the clouds in Yafutoma still, going below a little bit because we are in this backward area, and we have found the Mystic Orchard. This is Yafutoman legend. Once upon a time, there was a fairway island where jeweled fruit grew on the trees. A young man took one of these fruits to cure his sick mother, but when he returned, he had to come back to the island to become one of the magical trees. That's depressing. Now we are in the lands of ice by the ruins of ice. These ones were a pain for me to get because guides suck. We found the penguins, otherwise known as the ice bird. A strange bird that lives on islands of ice. Its small wings are not suited for flight, so it feeds by jumping for fish that are floating nearby. There are model parents, males and females, take turns caring for an egg, never laying. Well, oh well. And now our next one is actually below the clouds. We got this one right here. We've got the Southern Cross. A mysterious cross-shaped island that building sits atop is said to be the remnant of the Purple Civilization. Legends say that a long arm of the cross point pointed towards the location of the civilization. So that points you towards where it is. And now if you go over here, this one took me forever to find. We have found the Frozen Giant. God, this one took me forever to find because all the guides were not helpful with it. It's a perfectly preserved in ice for more than 20,000 years. Poor thing. Poor woolly mammoth. So we have a few more discoveries in the land of ice, but we're not going to get them until a little bit later. So as we look in our journal, as you can see, we are missing 2 on page 2. And this is where I start following the guide more closely. So here we're looking for the sky balloon. We could have gotten this one earlier. Balloon flower, not sky balloon. A curious plant whose colorful fruit sways in the wind like a balloon. When the thin outer shell is popped, a sweet fragrance is released. It is often thought to be the world's more peaceful times, but the fruits are seldom seen. This is by Crescent Isle, so keep that in mind. Right, our next one is inside the North Denal Strait, right by Nasred. Come over this way, and we have found the ship graveyard. The North Denal route was once feared as the home of a monster that ate ships, but in reality, it's an area where currents are so strong that one of the previous generation ships lacked the power and hull strength to make it through. So here's where the North Denal Strait is, and Nasrad is right next to us. So now we go back to our discoveries, and our second page is done. Our third page is done. So now we got the fourth page to do a lot. So now we are over by Sailor's Island and Pirate Isle. We are on the top over here looking and grabbing fish. And if you come over here to this waterfall rock, grab more fish, you have found the Moonstone Lake. A true rare sight, a waterfall that runs through a vein of moonstone. The water plunges from above, carrying away bits of moonstone, and it is said to have mystic attributes. It's believed, well, you enjoy life. Now this one, I believe, is the, yes, we're by Esperanza, which means we're going after the ghost ship. This one travels fast. So your best bet, because there it is right there, actually, and I don't see it at the moment. And I'm so upset at myself, because otherwise I would have seen it sooner. It goes along a specific path of a sky rift. What you have to do, it goes counterclockwise. You have to make it easier to get this ghost ship, which is right there. Turn off the game, save, turn off the game, and then reload right by Esperanza, and it will instantly spawn. The ghost ship, an unnamed shipwreck that continues to wander the skies. Many sailors tell of a ghost ship that appeared suddenly from the fog. Some say it's the ship of Daki. So now, we're going to go under Crescent Isle. And we are going to go over by Valua. There are two things to keep in mind with these next two discoveries. They are right by the Maws of Tartus, so you will find them in due time. If you go, if you're looking for discoveries and you can't find the entrance to the Maw of Tartus, these discoveries will help you find it. So come over here, and as you can see, we got a discovery. We found the rabbits. They're rabbit bats. A strange creature that spends its entire life hanging upside down by digging its claws into the rock face until it was discovered underneath the Valuan continent. It was thought to be a myth. Its intelligence and ferocity. And then more importantly, the wandering lights right down here. The dancing lights. Wandering lights were a different one. A natural phenomenon that can be seen underneath the Valuan continent. It is said to be caused by electricity from the yellow moonstones in the Valuan soil. Some say it is caused by a giant creature. And then right over there, that little cave right there, is the Maw of Tartus to enter. I don't realize that until the part in which we get there, so don't worry. Our next discovery we are going after, because now that we are getting here, we're starting to get to the ones that are going to be traveling. I believe this one right here is the Fluttershies. And the Fluttershies, oh boy, you do not want to do the Fluttershies without doing reset and saving, because otherwise you're lucky if you see them, and they move fast. So let's see if it is the Fluttershy one. Yep, I'm looking at the Fluttershy one because it tells you to go the North Denal Strait and fly west and northwest to Horteca, and eventually you will find it. But they are small, and if you don't see them, then you're gonna have to probably reload a save, which you can save in the sky. Just be careful, because it can corrupt your save after a while, depending on how high you are and depending on where you save. So as you can see, I'm flying just directly west. This one travels a large area, and there they are, the Fluttershies. This is one of the hardest ones to get. You have found the Flutterflies. Why do I call them Fluttershies? A group of butterflies that travel in group in search of the balloon flower nectar. Their remarkable endurance allows them to cross vast spans without sleeping or resting. Also, their silk produced by the larva is valued for its strength and resilience. A person in Ixataka will tell you about them. Now, if we go below the sea level to right here, this is by the Shrine Isle. Flying machine, an odd-looking ship whose origins remain a complete mystery. The fluid design and strange metal used in the hull has led theories the ship was built in another world. So now we got more fish, and right over here we got the Valuan wreckage. This is by Valua. 20 years ago, a flagship of the Armada disappeared above the North Nasrad near the end of the Valuan-Nasr War. Some theories mention murder attempt on the commander of the Armada, but the mysterious disappearance has never been fully explained. I think this one is tied to Admiral Mendoza, but 20 years ago would make it not right. Now, next we're going into the Land of Ice because I was looking for the bottomless hole by Shrine Isle, but I ended up here and ended up discovering one of the ones that is inside the Land of Ice, one of the last ones in the Land of Ice for that matter, and that is the Deep Snow. In the sky beneath the Lands of Ice, a white substance rises from beneath the clouds, like some sort of secret fountain. If you're wondering why my ship is constantly going down, it's because my controller's acting weird. It does it only sometimes, and when I reset it other times, it doesn't do it, so I don't know why it's doing it here. But next, we're going to go for the bottomless hole. This is by Shrine Isle and Pirate Isle, a little bit north of Pirate Isle. Well, south. We have found the bottomless pit. This one is hard to find, because it's very hard to see. A chimney-like rock mountain with a hollow center rising from the great cloud sea. Steps of this pit is said a woman weeping can be heard in the wind. Could this be the mystical land to the entrance of the dead? So now, from the giant squid nest on the next one, where we found that other giant squid, go underneath the cloud cover, avoiding giant squid boy. Life has many daughters, squid boy. And if you're lucky, you will find the ancient fish. It's like a rockfish. A species of fish that is believed to have been extinct millions of years ago. Its vestigial gills and fins make it look like it had some feet at some point to an evolutionary track. Now the next one, by the Star Sand, we have Maroon Isle. This one I missed by accident. I could have gotten this one earlier. Long ago, when air pirates betrayed their crew or captain as punishment, they were sent to this island with only a week's supply of food. Some fearful did the pirates become of this island. Its legend lives on in the songs of air pirates even today. This one is right at the entrance of there, of South Ocean. Next, in Ixataka, this is another one I could have gotten but did not get because guides suck. Come over here to find the Turtula pole. It is a wooden pole with faces of people and various animals engraved into its lengths. The upper portion and lower portions were lost years ago, so nobody knows what its true purpose was. A monument? A grave? Next, we're in the Land of Ice and Snow. If you come on to the top of the mountain by where the Aurora Borealis is, on the very top of this mountain, you have the Tomb of Ice. This one's depressing. A coffin of ice built by a father who could not bear his sorrow. The girl encased in the ice bears almost an expression almost resembling a smile. Etched into the tablet sealed words are, "My daughter, may your eternal rest be beautiful." Next, by where the penguins are, if you come over this way, you get the Ice Lens. This is the last one in the Land of Ice, I believe. A giant lens made purely of ice. It is supposedly impervious to heat. Legends has it that the ancient world used it to burn ships out of the sky and away from the lands. What is the focal point on the laser? Last centered on Glacia itself. That's depressing. So that takes care of that. We're up by the Aurora Borealis. So our next destination is going to be some of the wandering ones. So this one right here is by Valua. This one rises above and below the cloud line. It's by the south part of the continent. It's Mirage Island. Lately, sailors have been reporting sightings of a sailor's island floating around mid-ocean. They tried to get close in the island, but no avail. Theory has it the light reflected off sailor's island creates a sort of mirage. Next, we are in Yafutoma by Tenko Island. This right here is the Ryugu turtle. This one is hard to find, but also is laid in part of a legend where that basically references Journey to the West. But there is also the Ryugu Turtle Island. If you follow this turtle, you will find that island. I do not do that because I am dumb and don't see that the island is one of the things. The turtle flies directly to the island, so it makes it easier if you just follow this turtle. It's also by Tenko Island, so just keep that in mind. But I decided not to go for that one and instead go for something else, which is why I am dumb. So we go below the clouds, below Yafutoma. There are fish all around, and there is a small island over here. On the small island right below Yafutoma, we have found the Stone Lovers. It is said that the tomb of a great Yafutoman king is hidden somewhere near the statue. The people of Yafutoma believe that this statue was carved after his death to show that the love that his people had for him and the love that he had for his wife. Aw, adorable. And now after this is when I realized, crud, the Ryugu turtle would have led me to another discovery of Ryugu Turtle Island. So now we gotta go back and do that. So ain't that just grand? So, here's me looking at that and just like slapping myself in the head. That's why there's a pause. So, now we go up. And if we come over this way, a little southeast of where Tenko Island is, we get Ryugu Island. This is the second half of the legend. So the turtle brought the man to an island of great beauty where the beautiful Princess Oto awaited. They laughed and ate and danced for days. When the turtle finally brought the man home, 300 years had passed. That turtle can party. So that's all of them for Yafutoma, I believe. No, there's one more in Yafutoma. And that is actually below the cloud line by the Dark Rift. If you come by the Dark Rift... So I'm looking for this one. This one we're looking for is like a deep sea submersible sort of thing. It's a metal encased one that's below the clouds. And there it is. It's got a little line and everything. You have found the Deep Iron Star. A metallic relic of the ancient world. Legend has that its ancient powers harnessed the power of the blue moon to be able to detect sound waves and let them know when their enemies were approaching. So it's a sonar. It's like a submarine. So now, as you can see, I have reloaded, and I'm in the NASA airspace. Why am I in here? Because if you go by the NASA airspace above and reload a save, the wandering legendary, the Sky Train, will spawn. The thing about the Sky Train, it's fast, so you gotta hurry up and catch it. So here it is. Nope. Didn't discover it yet. You have found the Sky Train. While a rail car of a similar nature currently exists in Valua, this flying train is believed to have carried passengers between the red, green, and purple moons, although no more passengers board the Sky Train. That's kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie. How is it running? How is it running still? So, now that we have that, our next one is probably the hardest, besides the flutterflies, to get. And that is going to be the Flying Flail, which can go from South Ocean above Gordo's Bistro and circumnavigates the globe. It goes from west to east. which is a pain in the butt. And I figured, okay, I'm probably going to have to save and reload in order to get it to go. But I need to get in position first so then I can, you know, catch it when it eventually flies by me. Because it is small. Like, it is very small. It's actually faster than the SkyTrain, too. This is also one of the last discoveries that we are going to be doing in this entire game. And for this episode. So, yeah. A little bit of a long episode, but not the longest. Honestly, I thought this episode was longer. So, here we go. I'm going, okay, I'm going to go and save. Because I don't want to get the SkyTrain again, just in case. So, we're going to go over by Valua, because it flies over the Valuan continent. And it is going to be above the sky clouds. So we're going to go right around here by the Valuan capital. There's the North Denal Strait. All right. And here's me going, okay, I think I can intercept it if I save right here. But then I noticed something. Could it be? Especially because it blends in with the cloud cover. Sorry, you're probably hearing my cat. So it's right around here that you will find it. But I actually managed to get it to show up. Because I'm like, okay, let's go a little bit higher. And then I'm like, wait, that's it? Come back, my flying flail. Come back. Like I said, it's super fast. So I got extremely lucky with this one. This one is hard. This one circumnavigates the globe, like I said. So this is one of the hardest discoveries to get in the game by far. We have found the flying flail. An ancient history book shows records of contests of strength in which athletes would spin balls of steel at great speeds and launch them into the air. Who see who ball would travel the farthest? Could this be from such a contest? I mean, whoever did it, it's got its own orbit now. So now our next and final discovery, I believe, that we have to get. Because if we look through here, we have 2 more discoveries. Okay, so we got 1 more discovery here. And then we have 1 last discovery in the whole game. The last discovery in the whole game, you have to get every single moonfish in order to get. So this last one is the last traveling discovery and the last regular discovery that we have to get in this game. Because the moonfish one we're going to get automatically once we end up getting all the moonfish and giving them to Maria's bird. So this last one we're going after... It's a special one. It's one that I'm going to name the episode after. And then we're going to go and sell all of our discovery information just to make it official that we are done. But as you can see, I have spent quite a number of hours doing this. Based on the times I've been inside the pause screen. I have spent probably about 4 to 5 hours getting all these discoveries in the game. So there goes the flail, so we'll actually follow it because it's going to go around the area that we need to go for right now. And then we're going to beeline it south by Ryukon's Island because it's going to be underneath the cloud cover by Ryukon's Island. So, let us go south. Do 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 do. Right, so we go down the cloud cover, and then we go even further down. And what we're looking for below Yafutoma, specifically in the quadrant where Ryukon's Island is, because we still got a ways to go, and I realized, oh, I went down too early, is a moving one that moves really fast but is in a small area, so it's not as bad as the flying flail or the flutterflies. So there is that. Alright, so we got that, and now we gotta climb up because the Dark Rift is right there. Or we can actually just fly through this cloud cover. And now we gotta try and find it. Hark! What's that I see in the distance? Nothing, because the draw distance is being bad. So we gotta go up. Right, so we go up and over the Dark Rift. Up and over. And down. Right, now I think we're in the right area. But now we must find our last bit of discovery. So it starts around over this way, and it travels around the sky rifts that are around here. So once you see it, you'll know it. Hark. What's that I see in the distance over there? Could it be our last discovery for this episode? Which has already been going on long enough. Yep, there it is. I just saw it. Come on, turn a bit. There it is. Is that a boulder? No, Squidward. It's a rock. A rock. The rock that holds together my sanity. Behold, everyone. Behold. The Rolling Stone. I love that magazine. In the Dark Rift, there is a boulder that defies the power of the storm with which it lives. Scientists have tried to study the rock to figure out how it floats, but it moves with such speed that any ship that pursues to get too close gets pulled into its depths. And with that, we have gotten all regular discoveries in Skies of Arcadia Legends. So, well, regular discoveries, not counting the Moonfish one. We'll get the Moonfish one in due time. So now, let us go and sell all these discoveries so we can get quite a bit of money. So just to show, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with 1 discovery left in the whole game. As you can see, we have almost the entire journal done. So we are good with where we are at right now. So, let's look for the next nearest Sailors Guild so that we may go on our way and do what we need to do by selling all of our discoveries. Out of all of them, Maroon Island, because I waited so long to get it, is going to be our least valuable one at only 5 gold. But some of these ones are going to be worth up to like 20,000. It's going to be ridiculous. Right. And here we are in Nasrad, because I figured why not come to Nasrad to sell everything. So, let's go upstairs and sell ourselves some stuff. I cannot believe it. Vise the Charismatic is here. Yep, I'm a charismatic and a guy. So buy and sell discovery information. Sell info. Sell everything. As you can see, the Spice Island is worth a lot. The Mystic Orchard is too. Look at the Flutterflies. It's worth 15,000. And the Eclipse Point is worth even less. Then we got the Looper's Nest, the Valuan Wreckage. Sea Maroon Isle is just 5. I believe the one that's worth the most is going to be the last discovery in the game. But some of these ones, Skytrain 16,600, deep snow, long line, and there we go. So anyway, everyone, with that, we have sold all but one, which means we are good. We don't have to purchase any more if possible. We never needed to purchase any to begin with. So, there we go. Talk about various things. I never... Yeah, you still talk about Valua destroying Nasred. So, there we go, everyone. That completes all of this. So, anyway, everyone, I'm going to end it off right here. This has been Neronium. Next time, we'll be continuing with live commentary and going to the Maws of Tartus in order to be able to get the last of the moon crystals for Finna's quest. So until then, I'll see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to check out more RPG action, check out the top link for a playthrough of Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions.